Hey guys, welcome back. Picking up where we left off last time, 22 years old, a third of the way through peacetime. Let's see if we can make it to the end, because honestly, this is one heck of a challenging playthrough. Brothers in misery. Your home has been much more peaceful for the last year. The fights between Stefan and Gloria are not as fierce now, but how long will this last? Your job takes up all your time. You see your parents and siblings less and less often. Sometimes you don't even know what they are doing while you deal with the constant stream of duties. This morning, you head out on urgent business. You take one step out of the gate and run into a uniformed gendarme. Captain Lenaud says, "John Brante, your presence is requested at the prefecture dungeon." Taken aback, you ask what this is about. "We have your brothers, Stefan and Nathan Brante, in a cell. They were arrested last night at the Steiner's Inn. They asked us to send for you." The cells in the prefecture dungeon are cold and damp. The dungeons lead you to the bar. The guards lead you to the bars, and behind them you see Nathan huddled in the corner. Your younger brother is unshaven, more disheveled than usual, and reeking of wine and filth. Near the cell, you see Stefan grimly sitting in a chair. You guess that the gendarmes thought it best not to put him in the same cell as his low-born brother. Upon seeing you, Nathan lets out a whimper, and Stefan cracks a bitter smile. The sheath on your brother's belt is empty. "There you are at last, John. Have a look at our younger brother. Yesterday he got drunk in the company of some dubious fellows. They are commoners, yet they dared to surrender to pleasure. They started a brawl, wrecked the inn, and harassed the waitress. As soon as I heard, I rushed to save this drunkard from shame." Nathan cowers in the corner, horror-struck. "I walked in and demanded that Nathan come with me, but his cronies wouldn't let him go." "That's not true. You just grabbed me by the collar and dragged me after you. You nearly suffocated me." "Shut your mouth, cur. So, brother, they seem to have some sort of sect. They are shouting defamations against the twin gods, and one of them grabbed me by the arm. I was forced to skewer this heretic with my sword. I hope a lesser death will teach him never to lay his filthy paws on a nobleman." "He was just trying to talk to you, Stefan." "Silence." Then the gendarmes barged in, and here we are. I have been accused of an unlawful murder, and apparently the new laws allow killing a commoner only if he attacks first or wields a weapon. They say that in the event of an insult, I'm supposed to file a complaint with the prefecture. So now they're going to seize my sword for a whole year. What a shame. And it's all your fault, Nathan. Stefan gives the bars a furious kick. Nathan covers his face with his hands in despair. "John, brother, you are our only hope. Get me my sword back and get us out of here. Fast. We have to bury this sword affair as deep as we can before anyone finds out. Save our family from shame." I can use my own authority. If I was a noble, I could do that. If I was a priest, I could take them to the Inquisition. If I was a good spy, I would actually be able to help them and blackmail a judge. But now I'm reduced to asking my father for help. You persuade the head of the family to use his power as judge to free Stefan and Nathan, or you refuse to help. We will not try to get your brothers out of trouble. Oh. Well, I think this is going to tarnish our honor if we do that. Not sure which one would be a better hit. If I want to preserve reputation and sacrifice a little bit of wealth. So I think we're gonna refuse to help. Oh gosh, he'll be without a sword, he'll be a laughingstock. I think reputation's gonna take a hit if I refuse to help. So I gotta ask Father for help. Maybe it'll just require some money expenditures. You tell Stefan that the only way to get them out of this mess is with Father's help. No, John, Father must not know about this. If we get involved, we won't be able to avoid dishonoring the family. Well, you coldly reply that after this incident, disgrace is inevitable. All that remains is to try to minimize the damage. Leaving your brothers, you go upstairs to your father's office. What happened, John? You give Father an account of the incident. He becomes more and more grim with every word you utter. Is this why I earned the judge's mantle? To get my sons out of prison? I would have expected something like this from Nathan, but Stefan? I will not demean myself so they can avoid their punishment. You argue that in this case, the damage to your family's reputation will be far greater. Stefan will be publicly deprived of his sword, and Nathan will be sentenced to hard labor on the streets. I hate to admit it, but you're right, son. I'll have to swallow my pride and plead their case to the prefect. Stefan is my nephew, after all. Father gets an audience with the superior, Alborn. He returns downhearted, but holding the prefect's order. Together, you walk down to the dungeons and present the order to the gendarmes. Stefan's Brante's sword is to be returned at once. He has not broken the law and must be freed. As for Nathan Brante, you will help personally cover the damage the inn has sustained. There is no reason to keep a son of a noble family behind bars. Seeing the prefect's seal, the gendarmes nod obediently and return Stefan's sword. Father, I need you to come to the rescue. I haven't really done anything shameful. We will discuss this at home. Stefan sheathes his sword reverently as Nathan is led out of the cell. The elder brother takes the younger by the scruff of his neck and pulls him to the door. Nathan staggers and shuffles along limply. The prefecture is highly displeased with the indiscreet nepotism your father took advantage of. Unsavory rumors about the Brante family creep through and is up. Back home, Father lectures Stefan. Your elder brother objects and blames Nathan for everything. From now on, there will be no more drinking bouts or other nocturnal exploits, Nathan. Who are those rogues you befriended anyway? Stop shaming this family. If you're so worthless, at least let others go about their business in peace. Do you understand, you blockhead? Nathan responds silently, staring despondently somewhere above him. Oh, I don't care about their relationship. I need the family reputation to go up and unity, or else our mother is gonna die. Freedom of speech. Your print shop has been graced by an unusual guest today. A short man of considerable age, dressed in the brown cassock of a priest. A smile appears on his brown face. Father Mark. Good morning, young man. You must be the owner of this splendid print shop. I've heard so much about you and this wonderful place of yours. You ask the visitor his name. What brings him to your shop? Father Mark replies, yes, my apologies. I am Mark. Father Mark, if you will. There is a certain matter I hope you can help me with. I have learned much during my many years in the world, but alas, our time here is short, and like everyone else, I will eventually have to face the ruthless scrutiny of the twins themselves. However, I would like the truth that have been revealed to me to live on after I shuffle off this mortal coil, which is why I've come to you. I've written a book, you see, and now I want you to help me print it. I want the largest print run you could possibly imagine. Or possibly manage. The old priest is clearly not giving you the full picture. Why has he come here of all places? You see, young man, my teachings are a bit bold for a realm that has endured 1,000 years of tyranny of the twins' tyranny. 1,000 years of the twins' tyranny. Even the new faith sees the truths I preach as excessive, blasphemous. But your print shop is known for its, shall we say, open-minded approach. I believe we have the fortitude to appreciate my order and the courage to accept. I believe you have the fortitude to appreciate my teachings and the courage to accept my order. Would Father Mark be so kind as to explain his teachings to you? Another smile, kind-hearted and sly, appears readily on the monk's face. But of course, my son, but the will of the twins, it is my lot to preach. How could I refuse to instruct those in need? Here is the fundamental principle of my doctrine. Our gods are shit? You don't need them. You say a tree is known by its fruit. Well, if the twins are a tree, then its fruits are will, love, and law. But their will is arbitrary, their love is cruel, and the law is ruthless. The twins don't know the meaning of the word mercy. All they bring to their world is suffering. Everyone in this world is miserable, regardless of their estate or status. And we will continue to be miserable as long as we continue to accept the burden of their divine chains. There is only one path to salvation in this world. Reject the twins outright. You and only you must accept the responsibility for your own life. Forge your own secular law, fill your heart with secular love, exercise your own secular will, forget all about the twins. But what about the hereafter, you say? What about the final judgment, eternal torment at the foot of the pillar, and never-ending bliss at the peak? Everyone asks me this, and here's what I tell them. What happens to you in the hereafter doesn't matter, because there won't be any you in the hereafter anyway. We will all be dissolved in the twins' own endless will. Out there on the other side of true death, Father Mark will cease to exist, and so will you, young man. You will have no will, you will make no decisions, you will be incapable of action. In other words, your life will be over. Your existence ends with your true death. Whatever happens to you after that won't really be happening to you, so who cares? So let's all tell the twins to take their bullshit law and their bullshit will and their bullshit love and shove them straight up their divine asses. Let's cast away the yoke of the gods and live our worldly free lives free of their despotic, ruthless rule. So I have a few options. I could print the book in secret, which can't be done because my scheming is too low. Report the encounter to Felipe. You will take the Heather's manuscript directly to Felipe. You can print and disseminate the book by yourself. You'll publish Father Mark's book and get on his good side, and then denounce him and his followers to Felipe. Or if the prefecture can apprehend such a dangerous apostate, Father's standing will surely improve. And this is fantastic, because this will actually improve our reputation, which is exactly what we need. To reject the twins is to deny their law, their will, and their love. To reject the twins is to deny that their empire is blessed and absolute. To reject the twins is to deny that the tempests are chosen by the gods themselves to rule. If these teachings begin to spread, there will be unrest, the likes of which the province has not seen since the emergence of the new faith. His book is fomenting rebellion against the Tempest, the Empire, and the twins. You accept Brother Mark's manuscript and promise to print the run as soon as possible. As soon as the priest leaves the print shop, you head to the prefecture to see your father. You describe the strange visit and hand Mark's manuscript over to him. He ought to handle this case himself, you say. The heretic must be arrested before it is too late. This is extremely troubling, son. Matters such as these are really the Inquisitor's domain. But we judges have some work to do here, too. This priest is inciting rebellion against the Empire. He must face judgment under imperial law. I'm glad you came to me with this. You did the right thing. This will be an excellent opportunity for Alborn and me to set our opponents at ease. No one at the prefecture will be able to say we don't protect imperial tradition now. All the monarchs are arrested and sent to prison for their trial. When the heretical priest is arrested, the city grows restless, but there is no rioting, no protests. Many people leave the provinces in a hurry, including nobles, commoners, and even a few priests. Some of your own men flee Megara without saying a word. You have to rack your brains to find replacements. So the spy network goes down. Discontent goes down. Reputation and unity go up. I call that it. Not too good. The sound of thunder. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. The spy network in less than 2. Or less than or equal to 2. Late one night, you send all the print shop employees home. Felipe Aflero wishes to see you in person tonight. You sit behind your desk, anxiously attentive to every sound. You hear quiet stomping outside. Several men enter the room, led by Moss. "Hello there, John," Oliver Moss says. They are all, without a doubt, armed. You stop at the door. You hear a cane tapping on the floor as Felipe walks in. You sit at your desk and squints at you without. He sits at the desk and squints at you without saying a word. "So, Brant, how's our spy network doing?" You open your mouth, but the advisor cuts you short. His voice is utterly hostile. "Why aren't you getting any results? Do you think you can fool me? Or are you just too stupid to be entrusted with such a crucial mission? How can I explain your ineptitude, Brant? Betrayal or idiocy? Don't you understand that your job is the only thing you should be doing? Don't you see how important it is? I'm standing on the brink of chaos, and it's about to consume us all. The safety of the Empire depends on intelligence you're supposed to be gathering. I trust you, and what do I get in return? Idleness and wasted time. Either you're dragging your feet on purpose, or you're too witless and sluggish to obey my orders. I have no use for traitors or fools. Was I wrong to believe Sophia? Should I just dispose of you and find someone who can do better?" Okay, well, only one option. Beg for forgiveness. The other option is promise quick results. Okay, so beg for forgiveness. You ask the advisor to forgive your failure. Promise quick results means that you will use all of the last straw's resources to gather the information Felipe needs. Or you can lie to Felipe. Promise to use all the resources at the last straw's disposal to gather what the information Felipe needs, but you're lying. Beg for forgiveness. Let's see what happens. Lowering your head, you implore Felipe to forgive your failure. The advisor could just wait a little longer. Felipe taps the desk, annoyed, then lets out a tired sigh. "You don't seem to understand, Brant. There's only one thing that matters in our line of work: results. If you can't get results, you're of no use to me." Felipe rises, snaps his finger, and points right at you. His goons instantly rush to your side and twist your arms behind your back. They push you onto the desk. Papers and writing implements scatter across the floor. Oliver looks at you with genuine compassion. "Tough break, John." Felipe towers over you like a grim shadow. "I do not tolerate failure for my subordinates, Brant." The advisor gestures to Moss. You try to say something to explain, to assure Felipe of your loyalty. Moss puts one hand on the back of your head and another on your chin. Your neck snaps with a sickening crunch. Darkness falls. Oh, gotcha. First death. I thought that was a true death. That would have been bad. You fall into pain that embraces you like a soft featherbed. You feel light, free, there are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you, their touch is soft, they delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before, something absolute and complete. You touch something greater, the reason behind everything, the reason for your own existence. You were sculpted from this light. It was the first thing you ever felt. The balance, the sincere unity of the diverse. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions, and now you are here again, one with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming with you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it in the north as always. The waves of light carry you to two figures. The elder is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits farther back. You do not know what he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-light kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. You know this, and they love you. You will never be alone. You are a part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float up to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you down along its trunk. You do not wish to part with the warmth and softness, with the love. You turn around, the elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go, your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tussle down towards your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists only in the hereafter. It is present in the eternal design of the twins. That is the origin of all life in the world. What is the manifestation of this love in your mortal life? I say I'm going to remain silent. I don't know what to do here. A sudden comprehension of your love from which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain the sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks that lightness, that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air. Your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them, revolting but so real. You are back. The crypt is quiet. A ray of light from a tiny window strikes your eyes. You are awakened. You sit up, your feet touching the stone floor, instinctively reach for your neck. You are lucky. This death was just a warning. You cannot expect advisor of Pharaoh to be so merciful next time. Ugh. I have so much willpower, but I can't spend it on anything. The guns of Illyria. Niagara has revealed alarming news that from the neighboring province of Illyria, the low-born convicts toiling in the Illyrian mines have revolted against their noble masters. For the first time in many peaceful years, the commoners have taken up arms. Worse yet, the insurgents had gun and gunpowder, and no one knows how they got them. Gunpowder weapons are banned throughout the empire as soon as they were invented. The lords deemed firearms dishonorable and unfit for nobles. Even Legion soldiers are forbidden from using them. But now gunshots are echoing through the mutinous Illyrian mines. The Imperial Legion was deployed to quell the riot. The legionnaires slaughtered the rebels without mercy, and the uprising choked to death on its own blood before it had even begun. The south of Illyria is now a forest of gallows. Convicts' corpses were left swaying in the wind as a warning to any commoner who might dare to take up arms. A forest of gallows, that is quite some imagery there. Although the rebellion quickly succumbed to the Imperial military's onslaught, many Legion soldiers and officers were slain by the insurgents' firearms. Their steel armor was no match for bullets. The riders' weapons were destroyed in a public ceremony. No one knows who built or smuggled them into the mines. All Imperial overseers soon issued public reminders in their provinces. Punishment for owning a gunpowder weapon is true death by execution. But the Empire is still restless, still anxious. Somehow, guns found their way into the commoners' hands, if only for a short time. Gunpowder and lead one day endanger the old ways of the Empire? Authorities of Magra fear that unrest will soon spill over here. Due to the double tax, peasant farms and industrial manufacturers are facing harsh times. The province's wealth is steadily declining, but the discontent of the commoners is still held back by the internal lot and demands they accept their suffering. Chapter Peacetime will end soon. Examine possible chapter endings to choose which way you are headed. To achieve the goal you have chosen, you'll have to meet all of its conditions at the end. I want to do this, but the spy network's not enough, so this is not going to happen. Unrest is not enough here. I don't have a spy network that's high enough here. Favored by the Overseer? Maybe this is enough? I don't know. I really have to push to get the Overseer's, protection. This will probably require scheming and manipulation, something that I don't have. If it requires 30 willpower, you can bet your butt I'm going to do it. The Free City, this is what I'm going for. Unrest greater than 8. I think this is the one that I want the most. Blast Wave. Wow. It has been 4 years since Archduke Melindus and the Overseer Tempest first clashed. Each claims the right to collect taxes in the province. Now, for the 3rd year in a row, they are each collecting their own tax, and the province is sinking deeper into poverty. The people who have been hit the hardest are the miners, diggers, and anyone who owns or manages a mine. When gunpowder first appeared in Magra, mine workers felt hope for a better future for the first time in years, but the ban soon followed and their hopes died. People have lost their jobs, industrialists and manufacturers have lost their fortunes, the silver industry is in decline. The Lesser Quorum, led by Mayor Egmont, has been fighting to stop double taxation and reverse the ban on gunpowder for a long time, but to no avail. Common people blame Magistrate Alverma. He has supported the gunpowder ban from the very beginning, branding it too dangerous to be handled by commoners. This friction is throwing sparks everywhere. You have always known that unrest would flare up one day, but oddly enough, it all begins with a celebration. It is early in the morning, you are eating breakfast with your family. Stefan is excited. Your brother has been invited to a ball at the Chancery, and he has been getting ready ever since he woke up. Magistrate Alverma is a sly man. Stefan, I'd be wary of him if I were you. Some friends in high places can take more than they can give. Enough, Father. I already know that. But if we ever want to be a noble by the sword, we have to take advantage of every opportunity that presents itself. There will be nobles of the highest rank there from all over the province. Besides, there is no risk in making Alverma's appearance. The conversation continues. Bored, excuse yourself to go to the print shop. An ordinary day of work is followed by an ordinary evening. You're about to close up the shop for the night when Alida arrives unexpectedly. She brings a letter. It's an urgent report from Sophia. You glance through it hurriedly. The handwriting is not Sophia's. Felipe has taken a great risk by writing to you under a false name, which means that this news is too urgent for caution. Our informers with Egmont's goon have warned us about a march tomorrow morning. There's trouble brewing. Miners, diggers, and even mine owners are involved. They're coming from all over the province to demand that Alverma lift the gunpowder ban. This march has Egmont's name all over it. It's supposed to be peaceful, no bloodshed. Apparently, the miners think Alverma won't have the guts to use force, so he'll have to listen to their demands. Their plan is to show up during the magistrate's party. They're mad because he's throwing some money around while they're all starving. There are several hundred workers coming, and they're all fired up. They should get there early tomorrow morning. You have the night to get ready. Let's hope you can put this intel to good use. Burn the letter in the flame of a candle. As the paper turns to ash, you weigh your options. Egmont wants the protest to be peaceful, But will he be able to keep the angry miners from crossing the line? And Stefan will be at the damn party of his. This complicates matters. Either way, Felipe is right. You cannot ignore this. What will you do during this unexpected protest? I could incite a full-fledged riot. Using the last straw, you reveal the full extent of the miners' furious determination. Or I could alert the magistrate. The magistrate has to be informed about the approaching threat before Stefan and the other nobles are trapped. I could recruit the protesters to the last straw and profit from it. Let's take a look here. Reputation's pretty low. What about the overall objective? Well, if I go with the Elverma, if I go with the Master of Azanti, the Magistrate, and he has spy network greater than 8, or equal to 8. Let's take a look here. Spy network is at 1. Yeah, you tell me if that's ever going to get up there. That isn't. So I think unrest is what we need to do. It's the only way. Hopefully this will bump up the unrest to what we need it to be. The nobles have never seen the common people as a force to be reckoned with. A peaceful protest will be a waste of time and effort. No matter how many miners crowd the city streets, they will not be heard until blood is spilled. This matter cannot be left to chance. Send the Moss and Father Fod, brief them on the situation. You're going to need a number of last straw members for this. People who do not mind getting their hands dirty. They need to be ready by morning. Oh no, but it's a betrayal of Egmont too. Oh no, did I make a mistake? Oh no. Shoot, I made a mistake there. I forgot that, Egmont is leading Mayor Egmont is leading this charge. Even if it increases unrest, if it kills him, it won't be good. I'm gonna need some guys who know what's what. That means they won't be able to trail a few dozen bigwigs for a while. It's either or, Brant. I only got so many men. So be it, as long as they are ready in time. One morning, the miners march into the city, tools in hand. They are dressed in rags, covered in soot and coal dust, hitting buckets with shovels and pickaxes with every step. The rhythm is as loud as it is chaotic. The miners are led by mine owners and industrialists, who are in turn led by Mayor Egmont himself. His voice can be heard from the incessant din of metal on metal. Give us back our gunpowder, give us back our lives. If you want coal and silver, give us back our gunpowder. The entire process repeats after him, hundreds of voices chanting in unison. The people of Enzati echo their refrain in the windows. Occasionally, a gendarme finds himself in their path and scurries away. The procession is advancing toward the Chancery building. Oliver's men join them at the north gate. They are murderers, thieves, and debtors, men who will do anything for money. They look just like ordinary citizens in the crowd. As the procession enters the temple district, the white robes of the new faith priest join the gray mass of miners. Father Fahad has worked a small miracle indeed. The priest's voice joins the commoners' chant. The thunderous din grows louder still. The twins are on our side. Our cause is pleasing to them. Alita joins the procession as it nears the noble districts, the last straw's youngest member in tow. The miners grow bolder as they see more and more people supporting their cause. You hide in a back alley just around the corner of the Chancery, making sure your face is hidden. When the procession reaches you, you join its front ranks and let it carry you along. When men and women are ready to spring into action, as soon as you raise a red handkerchief above short, unable to flee the celebration in time. Most of the nobles are trapped, surrounded by the chanting miners. Stefan is somewhere among them. Caught by surprise, the magistrate barely manages to alert the city gendarmes. Their number are too small to disperse the mob of this size, but the Enizati Legion garrison will appear any minute now. This is no time to be careless. Sensing its strength, the mob continues to chant, bang on buckets without any fear of the gendarmes. Amid the metallic cacophony, Egmont's words repeat again and again. Bring us back our gunpowder, bring us back our lives. You want coal and silver, bring back our gunpowder. Protectors are having a feast today. Let them see you with their own eyes, let them hear you with their own ears. You are the people who harvest the lifeblood of our province day and night, and in the darkness of the mines. You are the people hidden from the light of day. You are the people who earn riches for our masters. The chant is deafening, pickaxes and shovels playing against metal. This is the moment of truth. Either Alverme concedes or there will be blood. To the magistrate's credit, he has the composure to face the people himself. The crowd goes quiet for him to speak. I understand your plight, but I will never accept such lawlessness in my city. Leave and Isate immediately before the gendarmes and legion force you out. The crowd yells in discontent. The people are on the verge of a riot. The magistrate feels it too. He raises his hand, trying to say something else, but he is too late. He tosses a red handkerchief into the air with one hand and hurls a cobblestone with the other. The rock hits Alverme square in the chest. Spread throughout the mob, Moss and his men scream in unison, "Get him!" The rabble riders rush them, followed by the enraged horde. Stop! Enough! Don't do this! But there is no stopping it now. Confrontation is inevitable. The work here is done. Try to escape the crowd. But a force of nature now, the mob will not release you. You are only a drop in a sea of humanity, and it washes you away. Draw their swords, fight an uneven battle, few against many. People rush and shove frantically. You are deafened by screams. Your nostrils fill with the stench of blood and sweat. Those pickaxes and shovels quickly become deadly weapons. The mob buffets you from side to side as it moves. You barely manage to remain on your feet, even as you stumble over the bodies of those less fortunate. And finally, you are almost through the last stream of bodies. Then you hear an all too familiar voice from behind your back. Not so fast, right? Cold steel pierces your back. The tip of a sword sprouts from your stomach. A foot kicks you in the back. You are thrown off the blade and onto your feet. And a moment later, you collapse onto the cobblestones. You smash headfirst into a hard stone. Your nose shatters with a sickening crunch. The pain is blinding. Salty blood fills your mouth, and then darkness. Looks like we have suffered our second death. We experience a transcendent death, and we're ready to move on to the next portion. You awaken, your first breath is filled with pain, the crypt is silent, no one is there to meet you. With any luck, your family will never know that you died. Maybe this is for the best. The riot was an excellent dress rehearsal for the large-scale revolt. Felipe will eventually order you to lead. You put your men to the test, and they acquitted themselves nicely. When the time comes, you will be ready. Order goes down. Unrest goes up. Spy networks failing. Manipulation and scheming go up. At midnight, this event is a consequence of your previous actions. It is early in the morning, you are at home, you hear a sudden knock at the door, followed by Mother's voice from the foyer. John, you have a visitor. Oliver Moss appears in the doorway, flashing his predatory smile. What is he doing here? Morning, John, I've got a letter for you. It's about the print shop. Well, if it's about business, I'll leave you to it. Oliver follows your mother with a curious look, then leans on the doorframe and casts a searching glance over the house. You snatch the message from his hands. You tell Oliver emphatically that he should not be here. Moss responds to your reproach with a meaningful nod at the letter. You hastily open the envelope. It is Felipe's handwriting. The letters are uneven. He was clearly enraged when he wrote this. Enough. I'm done wasting time on you. Your family's safety isn't a gift from the twins, Brante. It's a payment for a job well done. You haven't done your job. You're nobody. Nothing but dirt beneath my feet, and it's high time I shook you off. Your spies get no results. I've been accused of dereliction of duty. My enemies mock me. It's all because of you. You have one day to fix this, and you will fix it. You will present your solution to me by the roots of the silver tree at midnight tonight. Your time is up. Cold sweat runs down your back. Oliver takes the letter with a nonchalant gesture. He shrugs in mock sympathy and leaves your home. So I can flee the city. This is your only chance to escape Felipe's wrath. Beg for mercy. You go to the meeting hoping to beg Felipe for one last chance. You comply with Felipe's demands. You have no choice. You will have to relinquish part of the last straw to Felipe. I'm not a coward. I'll go own up to it, protect my family. Fleeing the city is not an option. The only hope is that Felipe will give you one last chance. You head toward the silver tree as midnight approaches. Everything is quiet, giant roots, the light of lanterns and torches. 5 men, led by Moss, meet you and stare at you intently. Felipe emerges from the darkness behind them. I'm glad you had enough sense not to hide from me like a rat. Well, you kneel before Felipe, your knees are shaking with fear. You swear that your life belongs to the advisor. You assure him that the recent failures are caused by the cunning of the insurgents. You have come to await his justice even though your life is at risk. If Sir El Felipe Pharaoh can find it in his heart to pardon you, you will do everything you can for him. You have nothing more to say. The advisor looks at you contently. He slowly walks behind you. He runs the handle of his cane along your spine. A powerful blow, you fall to the ground. A sharp pain pierces your back. Tears gush from your eyes, but you manage to position yourself back up into a kneeling position and continue begging for mercy. The advisor takes a long, deep breath. Well, Brant, you're a fool, but at least you're a loyal fool. You may live. As a commoner, you must accept your punishment. But your own pain clearly isn't enough motivation for you. Perhaps your family's pain will help you do better. Why you lift your eyes in the advisor's face? You see only to stand in his eyes. You didn't think I was going to let you off easy, did you? If you say anything to your family, it'll just make things worse. You're the only one who can set things right. You return home, cannot fall asleep for a long time. You are still trembling. You have managed to save your own life, but what price will your family pay? Punishment comes the next day. Nathan is the first to be targeted. You find him at your doorstep, badly beaten. His clothes are soaked with blood, his nose is broken, and some of his teeth are missing. The bruises on his face render him barely recognizable. Who did this to you, Nathan? I don't know, Mother. They just appeared out of the dark. You managed to put it out, but the building is severely damaged. The repairs will be quite expensive. And an air of wistful desperation permeates your heart. The last blow strikes your father. His work at the prefecture suddenly grinds to a halt. The intervention of some unknown authority causes all his cases to be taken from him. He still goes to the office every day, returning more and more dejected each time. There are rumors among his colleagues that he is about to be expelled from the prefecture. Your family's troubles are all your fault, but could you have acted differently? Oh, reputation is 0. Oh, just more and more of these bonus events. Oh. The procession at the tree. Holy day is coming, a day where the entire empire thanks the twins for the silver tree, the sign they left behind as a reminder of their eternal presence in this world. The momentous occasion is especially important for any Zumti, but the clergy cannot agree on how best to celebrate it. Father Lenart has called for all worshippers of the twins to approach the temple of the silver tree and kneel before the sacred relic. But the old clergy balk at the idea of a god, and the new believers leading the ritual. The day has come, an immense crowd is moving in a procession toward the temple near the silver tree, where Father Lenart waits. But an inquisitor by the name of Jean stands in her way. She strikes a defiant pose. Confronted by a member of the Holy Order of the Inquisition, the procession reluctantly stops. People, turn back. Those who attend Lenart's rite will succumb to the new faith. Those who reject the lots will defy their divine design. You're about to bring the wrath of the gods down upon us all. Open your eyes, go back to your homes, and pray to the twins. The procession wants to move, but the people are confused, until Father Lenart himself walks out of the temple to meet Jean face to face. People of Anizati, no one has the right to deny you the sacred ritual of worshipping at the tree, not even the Inquisition. Is such a denial not more likely to provoke the wrath of the twins? The Inquisition must know that the new faith does not seek to challenge or defy the twins. We are merely trying to correct the mistake of those who came before us. We do not anger the twins, we merely vex those who refuse to accept the dawn of a new age. Jean finds herself between a rock and a hard place. Seeing that she has no other choice, she lets the procession pass. The new fate's numbers have swelled of late. It cannot be stopped now. Festival of the Silver Tree. Today is an important holiday. The entire empire is celebrating the Festival of the Silver Tree, which commemorates the parting gift of the twin gods, the divine sapling they planted in our mortal world in the middle of Anizati. The families of the cities spend the day in peace and quiet, contemplating the divine root and join together all people, their bloodlines, and the entire empire. Mother always oversees this holiday. The day before the festival, she seems to have shaken off her usual apathy and engaged in the preparations with excitement. It was as though her illness had loosened its grip. Mother gathers the entire family for the holiday meal. Father's in high spirits, sharing jokes with you and Nathan. Stefan is trying to suppress an atypical agitation. Gloria is the last to join you at the table. She is wearing new breeches and high stockings, and a yellow vest. Gloria, you're wearing men's clothes again. No, Mother, I'm wearing clothes women are forbidden to wear. Father gives Gloria a stern look. Stefan rolls his eyes but says nothing. Suddenly, Nathan speaks up. A few days ago in the market, I saw a grocer dressed as overseer Gaius Tempest. He had a huge carrot for a scepter. He got a sound drubbing, of course, but until then, it was quite a hoot. Everybody laughs at the ridiculous story. Relieved, even Gloria has a smile on her face when she sits down. The feast commences. Your home finally feels warm for a moment. It wasn't so long ago the four of you couldn't even reach up to the table. The first word you said, Gloria, was "Gimme." Nathan, tearing it, and John, you couldn't talk at all yet. But your piercing stare was so expressive, it felt as if you were talking to me. Mother looks at Stefan and suddenly grows quiet. When I met Stefan, he was already 3 years old. He was so serious and a smooth talker to boot. I remember he had a music teacher, but he was too shy to play in front of me, so I used to listen from the next room. Stefan's face twitches. Your elder brother rises and moves to the hard. Stefan's face twitches. Your older brother rises and moves to the old harpsichord. His fingers fly gracefully over the keys. A melody fills the house, melancholy and sweet. The last note lingers in the air, then silence falls. The family is awestruck. Words fail you all. You wrote that? A nobleman from the capital, between drinking a glass of wine and beating a servant? Your sister's cutting remarks put an end to the warm, cozy atmosphere. Stefan calmly turns to face her. No, it was I who composed this piece of music. It's called Mother. Mother rises to her feet. She would have needed help to do this just recently, but now she treads unassisted towards Stefan and draws him close. Stefan puts his arms around his stepmother's waist, then attaches himself awkwardly. May the twin gods bless you, Lydia. Gloria considers this scene with thinly veiled fury in her eyes. Of course, high-born nobles like Stefan are made for the arts. They're the only ones lucky enough to have a soul and experience inspiration. Unlike us low-born, we aren't supposed to feel anything but suffering, let alone express it in poetry. Everyone notices that Gloria is clutching pages filled with writing, her poems. Your sister casts a mournful glance at the family, and her eyes rest on you. I can let Gloria read her poems. I can appeal to Mother and let her calm Gloria down. I can interrupt Gloria. Which one do I have a better relationship with? Gloria's +3, Stefan +2, Mother's +2. Okay, let's try to boost Stefan and Mother's relationship, so we're going to interrupt Gloria. Gloria is about to continue, but you intervene. Gloria will not recite her poetry. How many times do I have to reiterate that? Your sister may not violate her commoner's lot. Yes, you understand that she is dissatisfied with it, but there are other things to think of here. There's public order, or the reputation, or the safety of the family. You can't just live as though none of those things exist. Your reprimand takes Gloria by surprise. She flushes red with fury and clasps the pages to her heart, to her chest. So you're the same mind as Stephen John. I'm not allowed to bear your name, but I still have to bear all the responsibilities that come with it. What hypocrisy. Don't say things you'll regret. Everyone calm down, please. Gloria runs out of the room, outraged and tearful. The family freezes in place, dumbfounded. Lydia Brant says, I don't feel so well, Nathan. Son, please help me to my room. Mother leaves the room, leaning on Nathan's arm. The celebration is cut short. Oh no. At this rate, you're not looking too good. Emperor's heirs are in danger. News from the capital quickly reaches every corner of the empire. Duran and Flavius, the heirs to the throne, have left the emperor's palace for the province of Monia, which is ruled by the great chancellor, Agarius Monroe. The great chancellor has accused the emperor's court of harboring malefactors conspiring against the imperial heirs. This is why he has offered them shelter and safety in his own impregnable citadel. The common people are particularly worried by the news. They take it as a sign that the Chancellor is seeking to solidify his power by holding the heirs hostage. If this continues, Monroe could coerce the Emperor into revoking the imperial law, thus depriving the communist state of any and all rights. All hope for reform in the empire has vanished. From farmer to rich industrialist, the commoners are growing desperate. In your province, the authorities are trying their best to put the people at ease. The magistrate of Anizati makes a speech from his balcony to the excited crowd below. Trust in your emperor, good people. The imperial heirs are the future of the great Tempest dynasty. The emperor has made the wise decision to send them far away from the scheming court. Great Chancellor Monroe will take good care of them and keep them safe. All glory to the empire. All glory to the Tempests. Okay, wow. We're not looking too good here. Alright guys, I think we're calling it here for today. Hope you guys had a great time. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, check out the other playlists. Hope you guys have a great day and a wonderful week. See you guys in the next video. Peace.